Hello and welcome to the Orientation for Intermediate Algebra, the hybrid format. Course number is Math 094. My name is Pat Doobie. I am your professor for this course. You may call me Pat, you may call me Mrs. Doobie, you may call me Professor Doobie, whatever you're comfortable with. And I hope to get to know you shortly. So this presentation is your orientation of the course. The reason there's an orientation is because this is not just a class where you come to class and then you do homework and then you come back. There's only half as many class meetings as there would be normally for a 4-credit course. So we wanted to describe a little bit about how this is different than a traditional face-to-face course. So paying attention here will help you understand that and help you be able to know how to succeed in this class. So in a hybrid course, there's a lot of words here. I assume you can read them. We do a combination of an online and a face-to-face. We meet half as many hours in this particular course. Not all hybrid courses have exactly that time schedule, but normally we would meet for about 4 hours a week because it's 4 credits. But if you notice, we only meet 1 day a week for 2 hours. The other 2 hours are done by you doing these online lessons that myself and Professor Stone have created. This course covers all of high school algebra. It's intensive and rapid in its format and its expectations. You cannot get behind either by missing class or by not doing the online material in time. So you'll come to class, and we start almost right away with the class, and I'll explain more there. Come to the first class Wednesday, September 6th, and we will do some things there to get you started, get you logged in to the computer, get you logged into the course website on Blackboard, and show you how to get into the homework portal and things like that. So online, you will look at video, you will print out some guided notes, view a video lesson, and then do some homework associated with that. And if all that goes well and you understand, well, that lesson's done, you'll move on. There'll be several lessons a week, and the topics include the topics you see listed here. A lot of algebra stuff. We will do some review of fractions certainly along the way because we deal with fractions and algebra in this course, and don't let that scare you. I will help you refresh those skills. This course is the prerequisite to take Pre-Calculus 1, which all business majors need and anybody majoring in a science or technology or engineering or math field will need. It doesn't fulfill any elective requirements, but because it's considered a developmental course. But believe me, you will have learned a lot when you are through with this, and don't take it lightly. So we meet once a week, and our Blackboard site contains all the rest of the information, or the links to the rest of the information. Each week you will have a set, maybe 3 or even 4 some weeks, of video-based lessons outside of class. The videos are reasonably short, 10 to 15 minutes. You'll watch that lesson, and that's instead of me lecturing in class and doing a lot of notes and notes on the board. You'll watch that lesson with some guided notes in your hand that help you follow along, and then you will go do some homework. The guided notes or the learning guide is printed, and you should print this for each lesson and then watch the video and take notes on that. If you have any questions or confusion about what you saw or what's in the notes, you would email me, go to the tutoring lab, or get help from a classmate, but you want to get help right away. You don't want to stay lost for long. So in addition to the video lessons, we use the homework in MyMathLab. That's basically the textbook you bought. If you bought the Blitzer version edition 6E from the access code from the bookstore, you should have paid about $98, and you'll use MyMathLab for homework, and your quizzes will be online in MyMathLab. Unit tests and final exam, there'll be 5 unit tests in the final. They will be during class times, and you'll see that schedule on the syllabus, and I'll clarify that when we meet. So here are the materials you need. Now, it used to be that you could just buy any MyMathLab access code for any book, and it would work with any book. That's not true for this book. You need to buy this exact one, and we suggest buying it from the bookstore because we have negotiated a special price. It should be cheaper than buying it through Pearson alone. You will also need a scientific or graphing calculator. A $10 calculator that does fractions will be sufficient, but if you have a graphing calculator, I will allow it. So you will need computer and internet access. Now, I don't know where you're watching this now, but you will need regular computer and internet access. You can find this in the school library. You can find this in a public library. Make sure you have a computer that can open PDF files and that you can view video. I use Google Chrome as my browser. It seems to have the most stability. Some people like Firefox. I would stay away from Internet Explorer. If you have any trouble with this, let me know and I can either help you or get you the help you need. So if you're having technical problems, the help desk is available to all of us, including me, because I have technical problems sometimes too. You can email them if you want to know how to download Google Chrome or something like that. They would help you with that. If you're having any trouble with Blackboard, there's a specific help site for Blackboard help, bbhelp at northshore.edu. I have found these people to be very responsive and very patient. If you have any trouble with MyMathLab, as far as accessing it and things like that, you can go to the Pearson and use the support phone numbers or support information there. They have been very helpful also, but they get very busy at the beginning of the school year. So we want to get these problems taken care of in class the first night if we can together. Your time commitment. Some of you are thinking, and I probably would be too if I were a relatively new student, oh, this class is only 2 hours a week. That's great. I can fit that in. Well, that's 2 hours in class. You will need a total of 12 to 16 hours per week for this class. And that time will be spent like this. You'll attend and participate in class, and this classwork earns you a grade. Class participation activities, things like that, sometimes are collected. Oftentimes we'll do some review worksheets. If there's an area you're having particular trouble in, I'll break you into groups by whatever area you're having trouble in, and we'll work on more problems. All of that, you get a grade each week essentially for class. So you attend and participate in class 2 hours a week. Then when you go home, you find the lesson you're in, print out the guided notes, and then view the online lesson. Then you do the MyMathLab homework for each lesson. If this isn't working out very easily, you get help. You get help in the tutoring center, either in Danvers or in Lynn. They should all be able to help you there. And I will get you more information about schedules for tutors and things like that. You email me if you're having trouble, and the sooner the better. If you email me an hour before class starts, it's difficult for me to get you help in time for it to be useful to class or for the test or whatever you're looking for. I will provide lots of supplementary problems that can be printed. Some will be provided in class. They can be printed out and brought to the tutoring lab, and they'll all have answers also, so you'll know if you're doing work right, and so will the tutor. I will give you study guides and problem reviews for each test, so studying is part of that 12 to 16 hour commitment. Now, some weeks, admittedly, it might be more like 8 hours, and some weeks it might feel more like 20 hours, but on average, 12 to 16 hours per week. If you don't save things to do until they're absolutely due, it will take you less time actually. So you should plan on a couple hours, kind of every day if you can, or at least every other day. Spend an hour or two on this class. Make sure you're keeping up and you're ahead of the schedule I give you. The schedule I give you is a no later than schedule. You may access our Blackboard site by going to Blackboard, and when you log in, you log in on the piece on the left into Blackboard. Use your North Shore username and password, and you can also find it in the My Courses tab of Pipeline. I don't really like logging in through Pipeline because it feels like two things that could go wrong then, but you can do either way. It won't matter. When you log into Blackboard, into our site, you'll enter at the course announcements page. On the left side, you'll find links to several things that are useful. The course syllabus. If you're a recent return to education or haven't been in college before, the syllabus is basically the document that details the agreement between you and I about what I will help you learn and how it will be graded. It's an outline of all the requirements, and it also contains a schedule. And the schedule is very important for this course because you have to be a little bit self-directed. I tell you exactly what you should be working on each week. And if you look at the due dates, they're a little bit beyond what I said you should be working on. I give you a little bit of grace there and an extra couple of days to complete quizzes or homework, even though the lessons were supposed to be already done. So pay attention to what lessons you should be working on and keep up with that. A little bit more about the course will be found in the about math, about the class. It will tell you how to get in touch with me and give you some other helpful links. I will put the course calendar will be populated with some due dates. Mostly the My Math Lab calendar will be helpful for lessons and quizzes. The tests and the final will definitely be on the course calendar. I will try to get the rest of that on there so you don't have to look at two different calendars. In content, this is where each unit module is contained, and the units are in a big scrolling list. So you'd go to the lesson you're interested in, click on the title of that lesson, and it will take you into the videos and learning guides. We will do that in class the first night to make sure you all know how to get in there and can get started. I will try to put announcements out at least once a week to remind you of what you should be doing. I will send these also by email. You should be checking your school email daily, not just for this class, but just as a student in the college in general. There are reminders that come out to you. People communicate with you that way. Rather than call you, we tend to use email. So if you're checking your email, you won't miss these announcements, even if you haven't logged into Blackboard in a day or two. Even though I will try to help you with these announcements, as reminders, it's your responsibility to keep track of these deadlines. There will also be other links on the website that help you with testing center information. In the case you had to miss a test, you would have to let me know ahead of time, or if you had a testing accommodation, you would use the testing center. I'll try to put some calculator help up so you know how to do fractions on your particular calculator, formulas and tables, and Desmos Graphing Calculator, which is an interesting tool to use. You can create a graph of any equation and see what it looks like. That will be helpful in some portions of the course. So how do you succeed? You have to keep up with the work. You cannot wait until the test to do the work. Quizzes, if you miss a quiz online, you don't get to take it. If you miss homework, I do let you make it up for 20% of the credit, but you have to keep up or you're going to be lost. Establish a routine. Even though we only meet once a week, schedule some other times, like maybe Monday from 4 to 6, plan to be at home on your computer, because typically we would have met twice a week. Make sure you're allowing yourself enough time. So find some other times that you can do some work in this course and make that a part of your regular routine. Use our time in class to ask about things you're struggling with. If you email me ahead of time, say email me Monday afternoon and say, I really don't understand, and give me the topic. That usually tells me there's more than one person not understanding, and I focus a little bit of our class on that topic and help you work through that. Complete quizzes and tests on time. If you don't complete quizzes and tests on time, you don't get any credit for them. And keep a 3-ring binder with printouts and your notes, your guided notes. So you should have a 3-ring binder and hopefully a 3-hole punch. If you don't, I'm sure there are some at the school. You could bring the printouts in and find a 3-hole punch. I think the library has one. So each week you'll read the announcement or look at the syllabus and see what you're supposed to be doing and find that course material in Blackboard. After you're done with the guided notes with the video, you click on the My Math Lab link in the course menu and go to do the homework, check and see if there are any quizzes due. And if you want to check your grades, you click on the grades link in the Blackboard course menu. I will keep all your grades in Blackboard. I will generally update them shortly before class, like 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoons. So if you have a quiz due, make sure you do it on time. And if there's a test in a particular week, it's given during class time and cannot be made up if missed. If there's an emergency, you must email me ahead of time in order to make it up. So if you're having difficulty with the problem, there's places to get help. There's some sample problems in each module beyond what's just in the video. There's a tutoring center. I've got some links to that. There's also some e-tutoring or online tutoring. I'll get you more information about that. You can make an appointment. If you can't make my office hours, and my office hours are in Lynn, and if you'd rather meet me in Danvers, make an appointment, and we can maybe find a time to work that out. And bring any questions you have to your class meeting or email me. That's not listed here. I don't know why, but that seems to be the best way to at least start to get help. I may end up sending you to tutoring or something if we can't get together, or I may even be able to explain with an email reply. So email is the best way to communicate with me. Here's my email address. It's fairly simple, pdoobie@northshore.edu. During the week, I will respond within 24 hours. On weekends, you'll hear from me by 4 on Sunday afternoon, sometimes earlier, but if you email me Friday night and don't hear from me Saturday, know that I will get back to you before the weekend's over. The first day, we'll review the orientation a little bit, not by going through these slides again, but we'll make sure you understand how the class works. It's also Unit 1 of your class, and there's a little homework assignment associated with it that you should be able to view anytime now and do anytime now, even before the course starts. And then we'll make sure everybody can get into Blackboard and everybody can get into my math lab and find the content and knows what to do. So I look forward, it says we because Professor Stone and I taught this together last year, and it's actually just me right now. I look forward to meeting you in class on Wednesday, September 6th. Please email me at pdoobie@northshore.edu if you have any questions.